And we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess to me is always stands out as she is like the door between the known and the unknown, or the door between the conscious and the subconscious or unconscious, or she's like that spot of meeting this spiritual space and our conscious human space, if that makes sense. To me, she's meditating and praying and being connected to her soul self, as well as being a human being here on planet Earth with her feet on the ground. She just has this, to me, it's someone who's very intuitive, psychic, if you like that word, has an ability to understand things that aren't necessarily laid out in black and white from A to Z in front of her. This deeper knowing connection kind of energy. She's one of my favorite cards, and to have this come out as a heart of your reading, this may be you starting to really understand what that means, being a Gemini with your kind of dual personalities, if you will. And I'm sure you all get tired of hearing that, but you also know it's true. You being able to, you may be in a space in your life where you're able to marriage those things in a little bit better, have more of an understanding of your polarities, because this card definitely speaks of polarities of both dark and light. And, there's just a lot of symbolism in this card on pretty much every deck ever, talking about polarities, this opposites, and having these two sides. So that's you, Gemini, in general, of having these polarities. And what do you do with them? How do you merge them? How do you have that connection between the two of them to make the best of who you are as a human? So let's pull a card for your mental space. I think I already had one flip. We have the Four of Cups. So this card is always like, I always see this person as kind of like pouting in a way, like I'm not paying attention. I'm so concerned with what I already have going on that I'm not able to pay attention to what may be coming into me, even if it's bright, flashy, like that's like, hello, here I am, I'm a gift for you. And he's like, nah, I'm good. Which is sometimes needed to turn off, really take time to understand what you have, and create space to intellectually understand and to feel about it and to whatever before you take on something new in your life. That's understandable. This coming out in mental space, it may just be you're not catching all you need to catch that's flying around you. You may be really focused on one specific thing and you're missing something that could be coming in to help you out, or could be coming in that would be a really good connection or addition to. So I feel this coming out there is reminding you, especially with the High Priestess, like I'm seeing this as a very like one person, like there's nobody else in that picture, and this is talking about her as this gateway, right? And if it's you dealing with two polarities to find that middle ground, you may be really focused on yourself right now, which is okay. But this card is mentally, you may be really missing some stuff because you're so focused on yourself. I would take this card as a suggestion to lift your head once in a while, see what's going on around you, see who's there for you, see who's willing to connect with you, see what opportunities are happening out there that you could be missing. And it's great to have this time to work on yourself. It's great to have, to take care of yourself that way, but you can't ignore the rest of the world either, I guess is what I'm getting at. So let's pull a card for your physical space. And we have the Chariot. And this is a card of movement. And this card also speaks of polarities. In most decks, the two animals that pulling the cart are typically opposite colors and look very different and are typically kind of pointed away from each other a little bit. And this card talks about this person being able to gain control of these two opposing or opposite polarity type forces and find the middle ground for them to work together. Even the circles here show that you know, within these two, this is a space that they're in. Like, okay, I found the middle ground here, and I'm creating forward movement because I've been able to hone these two polarities and make them work together for me. So whether this is you and another person or just you dealing with you, this is really talking about finding that middle ground and making things work together, finding that space of having understanding for both, having compassion for both, having whatever it takes to find the middle ground to make these things work together for forward movement. So let's pull a card now for your emotional space. All right. And we have the Empress. Oh, you're getting lots. 3 out of 4 major arcana cards. Gemini, like, for real. In your emotional space, this is you creating this, you know, she's the mother of all mothers. She's the creator, right? That she can even be too motherly and too smothering, you know, like this kind of controlling great force of this is how it is, right? But I feel emotionally, this is just you. Are you feeling this right now, Gemini? You can't be like blind to having this much positive energy. Like, this is you taking control over your space and understanding you can have the life that you create. You have to do the work. You have to have the vision. You have to have the trust in the work within yourself to have the life that you want. And you have much more control than you think. And being able to deal with the polarities within yourself and within our world is going to help you create that forward motion. And I think her coming out in your emotional space is just because you feel that. I feel that people are coming more into that knowledge within themselves of finding wholeness in themselves, finding the ability to realize that they don't need someone else to complete them, that it's within myself. How do I love myself? Do I take care of myself? And my life is that what I created. I have control over this. So emotionally, I think that is an absolutely amazingly beautiful card to come up for us with these other cards here. It seems like everybody's feeling themselves right now, and that's freaking awesome. So let's pull a card. Sorry, I was doing it off camera. I forget people like to see you shuffle cards sometimes. I don't really know why, I guess. But anyway, so let's pull one for your spiritual space, Gemini. I guess it's that one. We have the 5 of coin. So this one, a lot of times when I explain the visual of this card, I explain this as a church window, and they are outside it and they are disheveled and in need of help, but they are not paying attention to the structure or whatever behind them that would be willing to help them. So spiritually, you may feel on the outside right now, and you may feel like you don't fit there anymore. If you're in this kind of energy where you are feeling really empowered and in control of yourself, you may not feel like you may not be working with other people or some kind of system or whatever, however spirituality works in your life, whether you go to church or some kind of group meeting or you don't do anything formal like that. Your spirituality is just kind of a self thing anyway, or through reading or listening to whatever. But I feel like spiritually, a lot of this goes back to spiritual stuff because of the high priestess coming out in the top. Like, she is kind of that that bridge between our physical space and our spiritual space, as I described earlier. So you may not be involved with any kind of group or with other people that are in the same space as you, and that's okay. I like to remind people though that nobody likes to be alone. Or I shouldn't say that. I like to be alone. Nobody likes to be lonely. And a lot of us, it takes time to learn the difference between alone and lonely. And it is good to have time alone, but it's also good to have a support system and know that you have people there that would support your spiritual journey, that would commune with you and support you and whatnot. Sometimes we just have to we go through phases of, yeah, that person supported me in the past and that was really good for me and whatever. But maybe your views have changed or how you want to live have changed and you're not lining up with people anymore, or however this is playing in your life. I just would like for this card to remind you that to lift your head once in a while again. I feel overall, now looking at these cards, I really feel like you are being really within yourself and you're just not paying attention to anything but yourself right now. And that's okay. Sometimes we just need to do that. But both of these cards are reminding us to lift our heads once in a while. Because if they saw that church behind them, they'd probably, take the help offered to them. If he was paying attention, he'd see like something pretty awesome's coming in for him. So lift your head once in a while. Don't be too focused on yourself. You might miss out on some really awesome opportunities to engage or connect with other people that would support whatever this journey is you're on right now of self-discovery, or being able to figure out your polarities as a person and become a better person and be better at having a sense of control and creative ownership of your life, if you will. You don't have to do it all alone all the time. And there are people there that will connect with you and help you progress this if you're willing to look up and see them.